Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're all well. Today I'm going to be showing you the build of my ER5 from the day I bought it to the day of completion. Now sadly I don't have a lot of video of this process. I just have a large selection of pictures that I took throughout the build, which is mainly because at the time I wasn't planning on uploading any of this to YouTube. It was mainly just for reference and as a reminder of how things went together. But that being said, there may well be something of use in amongst them for anyone who's currently rebuilding or going to attempt a similar project. So without further ado, here goes. I decided the best place to start was to remove the fuel tank and plastics, drain the fuel and then prep these items for paint. Maybe an odd place to start in some people's eyes, but this was probably the job I was dreading the most. I'm no painter and the prospect of hours of rubbing down, filling and rubbing down again was something that frankly I wanted to get done and dusted as soon as possible. Once this was complete, I then proceeded to strip the bike down to its component parts, making sure to group together the bolts for each piece and label things I knew would be forgotten, such as here on the engine casing where some bolts are longer than others. The strip down taught me a great deal about the bike and also revealed a few gremlins which would need to be rectified, such as a snap choke cable, failed fuel tap and a badly corroded radiator. As soon as the frame was bare, I booked it along with the swing arm, wheels and stands in to be shot blasted and powder coated. This then gave me plenty of time to concentrate on ordering the new parts I would need and cleaning up years of grease, mud and general grot from the parts I would reuse during reassembly. The engine seemed to be in pretty good order, but while it was out of the frame, I thought it would be a good opportunity to check and adjust the valve clearances, and also to have the sump off to check for any lurking nastiness, which as you can see was well worth doing. This is probably where I should also point out the obvious, which is that if you take the engine out of your bike, find something stronger than a recycling box brace with a couple of old bits of wood, otherwise you're going to end up with the same problem I had. I cleaned the engine to within an inch of its life and removed all the existing paint. I then reinstalled the side casings with new gaskets and decided I'd go for a black engine look. A good few coats of high temperature engine paint left it looking the part. I stripped and cleaned the carbs, rebuilding with new parts where necessary, a job which was highly satisfying but also one that turned out to be a complete waste of time because I then decided to have the bike stage 1 tubed and dynoed shortly after the rebuild. Various bits of the wiring loom had seen better days and had been badly cut into for the installation of the voltmeter and alarm that was fitted to the bike when I bought it, so I took some time to repair the damage and wrapped the whole loom in some electrical cloth tape for protection. With all of the cleaning now complete, the frame and wheels back from the powder coaters and most of the new parts either on order or arrived, it was finally time to start reassembly. The first job was to have the new bearings pushed into the wheels and swing arm and get the tyres fitted to enable a rolling frame once more. With the front forks, swing arm and wheels all bolted back into place, I installed the new rear shocks and centre stand to enable me to manoeuvre the bike around and ensure it was stable to work on. I remember this day vividly, all of the hours of disassembly, cleaning and money spent, and I finally had something that was beginning at least to look a little bit like a bike again. The engine of course got a full service including spark plugs, filters, oil and coolant. I also installed a new clutch cable for good measure. The one thing I still hadn't decided on at this point was a colour. I whittled it down to either blue, orange or green, eventually settling on Vauxhall's Ardent Blue with a white stripe along the middle of the tank. As I mentioned in a previous video, I may well end up having this redone, as the finish is far from perfect, but for now at least, it'll do. Once the bike was complete and the mountain of parts I once had was gone, I carried out a final check from front to back to make sure that everything was tight and connected before I turned the key for the first time. I booked my newly rebuilt ER5 in for its MOT, which it passed, thankfully, and then hit the road. The sense of achievement I felt from taking this old, unloved bike and giving it a new lease of life was amazing. I've said it before and I'll say it again, give it a go, it really is worth doing. Thanks for watching, please do like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.